Welcome to Chasing Tangents, where the best conversations are the ones we never saw coming.
We are Staci and Renee. Grab your favorite drinks, settle in, and let's chase a few tangents together.
I love it.
It's so many
Yay.
tangents today.
Oh gosh. Well, okay, so let's
Yay.
just go ahead and discuss that little elephant in the room, which is we've been gone for a month.
We've been gone for a month.
Well, one of us was gone for a month. One of us was at home going, I wonder what she's doing. So fill me in.
It was crazy. So we got to Europe in the beginning of June. And we went right away, we went to Corsica, which is a little island in the Mediterranean that is, or in the,
anyway, I've heard of
it. It's in the Mediterranean, south of France, but it's by Italy too, but it's a French island. And we had a blast. We had so much fun there. You know, it's like Colorado with a beach.
Oh.
So like usually when you're in a beachy, like jungly, beachy place, it's like humid, and this is like crisp, like mountain air, but then there's a beach. So
kind of like San Diego, kind of that.
It was really, really good. San Diego on the beach.
So you love it. Yes.
So we had a great time. We did a lot of hikes. We did a lot of beach. We did a lot of food. We had so much fun with our daughter. And so we did that for the first week. And then we went back to Paris, and our son came because it was his wedding. So he came, and then we started wedding stuff with him and his new wife. We did a Muslim wedding, which I was not expecting, but her parents wanted to do one. And so we had our little apartment, and so they came over, and it was just the four of us and her parents and the imam on FaceTime. So we did that. And yeah, he paid. It was so funny. It was like, will you pay €50 for Miriam? And he was like, okay. So that was all in Arabic, and she was interpreting. Then the French wedding was all in French, and somebody else was. I said, poor Jordan. I said, when are you going to get married in English? He has no idea really what he's saying yes to. He's just like, I do. We yes. So we had a great time. We ate with them. The bad part, heat wave. You
were there for that 111 degrees?
And yes. And that isn't even bad. There's no reprieve because nobody has air conditioning.
They have air conditioning. That's what they were reporting on the news, was that was the problem in basically Europe, but definitely in Paris. Nobody has air conditioning.
No restaurants. No, like, so not just the houses. Like, now the coolest places were the churches, right? These big, huge stone churches you could go in, and they're dark and cool. So and I go into every church anyway that I see there because I'm amazed at the size.
Beautiful.
I love the churches. So we do that anyway. So we went into a lot of churches. We did a lot of picnics in the park. When the sun would go down a little bit, and we could, because you can't be inside, it's sweltering.
Yeah.
So the wedding was in the town hall with the mayor. Mm-hmm. Everybody has to get married in the town hall in Paris. And then you can have your own other thing. Mm-hmm. But everybody gets married there. So there was like a wedding before us, a wedding after us. I mean, like, that's why they just they got this date, and they had to just take this date.
Okay. So you have to pre-register for it.
Oh, yes. They were waiting. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, we have our date. And we were like, okay, so we're all coming. And so we were already going to be there, and we had extended our time. And then the girls came with the baby. Mm-hmm. So that, and we're just trying to keep everybody, like, we bought.
At least they're from Austin, so at least they're from Austin, but they have air conditioning.
Right. Except that's the thing. Like, you can take some of the heat if you know you're going to sleep in air conditioning. But when you know you're going to sleep in an oven with just this hot air fan going on you, you're like, well, so like 2 or 3 of the nights, the baby and I just slept out on the couch with the fans going on us because it was too hot for her in the pack and play. It was like a little miniature,
little bake area, yeah. Easy bake oven.
No, we're taking
easy bake oven of the baby.
So yeah, so it was, we did it. It was fine. We had the little Evian spray bottles that you spray yourself. And then, I mean, we were just doing that. And the wedding, poor Miriam was in this beautiful wedding gown. And she was like, what am I going to do? And so we had bought her the week before a dress to change into for the reception, because I'm like, there's no way. I mean, she would die. She would have passed out. And so she changed into this beautiful dress for the reception, and it was lovely. But it was
I bet. So in France, they do the civil service, like it has to be done through the civil, the legal, to make it legal.
I think in Europe, because Riley and or my daughter and son-in-law did that too. So in Luxembourg, but then they didn't have anything else. Like they just did the civil service, and then they didn't have a party or anything. They just kind of did it. So this was we had a little reception. There was probably like 20 people at the wedding. All of my son's friends from Estonia came in. I mean, so it was really, really fun. And it was great.
I mean, how strange that you have 2 kids that don't live in America. I mean, and
no,
you're so American. I mean, I say that Midwest American. I mean, it's
Jared and I born and bred Omaha, Nebraska. I mean, we're just.
I was about to say Midwestern. I mean, you couldn't, the square states, right in the heartland.
Yeah,
and raise them. It's not even like at least with Hillary, my daughter, we moved her all around. Yeah. So it wasn't that she doesn't really have roots. I think that's why I can never get her out of Kentucky, because she finally has roots.
Yeah.
So and they just were very embedded. I mean, you went from Kansas City to, Missouri, Nebraska.
Yeah, St. Louis to Nebraska.
St. Louis to Nebraska.
But they, we liked to travel. We traveled with them. We encouraged them to study abroad.
Yeah.
So everything was just like everything we did, we just kind of, anything that they wanted to try, we let them try, and this is what we get. So we're good. And
it's not a hardship to have to go to Paris to visit your daughter.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So we're good. So we're having fun with it. The honeymooners, they just got back to Paris. Of course, it's another heat wave this week, and so Jordan's going to be there another week, and then he's coming back here. And then we'll see when she'll be able to join him, or when he'll be able to join her permanently, is all kind of up in the air. So that's a whole nother, I don't even understand.
And not your circus, not your monkeys. Now that he's a
married man, they're working on it. Yeah,
they're job to figure it all out.
Yes,
and they will.
Yes,
they're not children. I mean, he's in his 30s.
No. Yeah, they're doing great. They're doing great. So while we were kind of doing all this on the airplane, doing, figuring stuff out, the girls moved into a bigger house.
Oh.
They got this big, huge house with an extra little apartment for their friend that's connected to the house. And so we're going to rent their house.
Oh, okay. So you're moving down there.
Yes. And we're going to sell.
Does that mean you're selling? Okay. You're selling.
We're selling this house. We're moving Jordan hopefully to an apartment, because he wants to stay here for just a little bit. I don't know how long, but he wants to stay here to finish his degree. He's got 2 classes left to finish his degree. So he's going to stay, but not here in the house. He's, I said we could try to sell it and be like, just ignore that guy that's in the bedroom right there. There's water in the bedroom. No, we're gonna. So we got a storage unit. We're moving. I'm going through stuff, selling stuff. Like, I don't know if you can.
And now's the time. Yeah, now's the time.
Echo in here. There's no furniture in my basement.
You're in the basement. Yeah, I was like, whoa.
The green chair in my basement is, and
It's
I'm
pretty.
like, okay, I'm going to do it down here. And it's just
Do
like,
you know what that fabric looks like? It looks like, remember in Sound of Music when she made their
yes,
clothes from the
that's
drapes?
why I
That's
got
what
it.
it looks like.
I
Oh
love
yeah.
this chair. I think we're taking this chair and our recliner. This is so funny.
Oh yeah. We take our recliners everywhere we move for
Well,
sure.
we don't have a couch in Austin because we sold it because we thought we were leaving. So it's gone. So we were like, why don't we just do like Archie and Edith and we'll just we'll have a recliner and a chair watching TV. And we'll
And
be
anybody that shows up can sit on the floor.
so I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're just kind of taking things day by day. Today, I want to do one box, one bag of books, because the Lincoln Library takes books, and so I've got to get rid of some of these books. I can't schlep these books.
I've done that over and over again. And, we're talking, we're moving down to Florida, which sounds weird because everyone's like, you retired down to Florida, but no, we're going to that North Florida where I'm from, and we're going back home.
Yeah,
Is not like South Florida where all the snowbirds go. And we're
that's
going up by the St. Augustine area, Ponte Vedra Beach area.
good.
And Mark, I have downsized because I downsized when we thought we were going to move to Kentucky.
Right.
I want to be able to get everything of mine, no matter how long it takes us to sell the townhome and all of that. All of mine already down there, so I don't have to worry about selling and moving and all of that.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty pared down.
Yeah.
Mark, on the other hand,
He never has been.
no.
I remember your garage here was like
The 3-car garage that we could fit one car in.
yes, full of his boxes. He just had every demo tape he'd ever done. And
we paid so much money to cart those boxes from house to house to town,
right.
to city. So his goal now that he's retired is he has, of course, he's getting ready for RAGBRAI, so he's bicycling a lot. Okay. But he's also now committed to going through full on, kind of like what you said, a box a day. And I'm pretty ready to go. I've even gotten rid of all my books. I'm pretty pared down. One thing that I did find was I have this old box of Hillary papers from when she was a kid.
Yeah.
And
can't get
I need to go through them. It's going to be hard because some of it's like, why did I save that? Other than it was paper she brought home with a little gold star. Yeah. And I can either do one of two things, go through them myself. I'm going to drive down and see them this month for a couple of days. I don't have a lot of time off this month. And I'm thinking about just bringing it and having the two of us with her kids go through it. That would be fun. And then you remember the wedding gift or the Christmas gift that has become the most labor-intensive gift I've ever gotten. Where I'm doing this memory book for me, her,
Yes.
And I found the big box of pictures. So I need to go through those. So then now I can start writing some of the memories around pictures.
That's nice.
And then there'll be pictures in the book instead of just a bunch of Renee memories from, whatever Hillary prompts me to talk about. And so that's all. It's 2 boxes. That's all I have left. And both of them I could toss in my back seat and move. It's not going to cost any money. So that's kind of where we are. So I do know that when you, like for poor Mark, and then Mark's also going to his mother's house where she's been in that home for 65 years.
Me too. That's my mom too.
He's doing, and finally I said, why don't you're retired now, commit to a week, 5 days, get a dumpster and just be ruthless.
Yeah.
Just ruthless. Because it's anything that that if she died tomorrow, you would have to do it. So just think of it that way.
Yeah.
So,
well, and when Selma was up here for in March, she got out all the American Girl dolls and she played with those dolls. So I'm like, well, of course I'm taking that. I'm going to take that down to Austin because that's going to be at our house. And her special box. Before we didn't have any room because we were in a 1-bedroom apartment, but now we'll have a house and we can, she can take those things out and look at them and play with those things while she's at our house. So, but she's going to have a big toy room and her own room upstairs and her own bathroom and everything, like, and then there's 2 other bedrooms upstairs, and it's an office and a bedroom.
So what you're saying is there's going to be a lot of abuse down there, huh?
What do you mean with us?
I'm being facetious. You
Oh,
guys are going to spoil her rotten in a
oh
good
yeah.
way.
And she's going
Total
to be in
spoiler.
school from 9 to 3 or from 8 to 3 every day because she's going to go full time.
That's okay. She'll be there on the weekends. She'll
Yeah,
be there in
I'll
the
pick her up from
evenings. She'll
school every
have
day. Yeah.
Yeah, and she'll have sleepovers with
Yeah,
her grandparents. And no, I was just being funny because I was just like, oh, poor thing has her own toy room. One kid. It's not like
I know.
there's 4
She's got a
grandkids.
big tent set up in it, everything. It's going to be
Oh, well,
funny.
now I got both of my grandkids the bed tents. So
Yeah.
they both have their bed tents and they
Well,
love
and I heard that Bradley's favorite birthday present was from you. The little
the
jelly
Jellycat.
cat thing that you got him, because we went to this jelly cat store in Paris,
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
of course Selma wasn't interested, but she ended up getting a cow, which was great, cowie. But yeah, and I got to tell you this story.
Well, and I want to hear the story, but what I
Okay.
told them when it's basically it is a jelly cat, but it's a watering can because
Okay.
he loves his garden and
Okay.
he
Okay.
loves his plants.
Yeah.
So when I got it for him and I was putting it in the package, then I got like a Home Depot gift card.
Okay.
Said, this jelly cat is yours. Do not let the kids take
Right.
it
Right.
for you. So that and
He
he's
loves it.
best. Yeah, he said it
Yeah.
was the best gift.
He loves it, loves it, loves it. Well, we went to this big store, it's Hausmann. It's called Hausmann, Galleria Hausmann in Paris. And it has a whole floor of toys.
Mm-hmm.
And Hannah and Hillary are very similar. They love buying toys for their kids. And she could not get Selma to want a toy to save her life. You want this, Selma? No. You want that? No. I mean, she just didn't want anything. So we finally found this plastic tiger mommy that was laying with 3 baby tigers that were apart. But they looked like they were nursing.
Okay.
It was just this little plastic. So we got it. So we went into this church afterwards and they went on home, and we get a text and Hannah goes, on your way home, look and see, we lost the mama tiger somewhere between the store and our Airbnb. So we're looking, we can't find it. So the next day we were by ourselves and I said, oh, let's go back and buy it. Let's go back and get it. I mean, let's do it. She loved it. And she kept saying she'd have the things and she'd go, Mama Tiger gone. Mama Tiger gone. I'm like, yeah. And I said, you're the Mama Tiger now. You're the, and so she was really one. So we go back into the store. This is the weirdest thing. And I'm looking and there's no more. So I'm looking through all of them and there's just tons of these plastic animals. And I look way in the back and there's a mama tiger with no babies and no tag on it. And so I said to the salesperson, I said, we bought a tiger yesterday. My granddaughter lost it. We have the babies. We were coming back to get one. This one doesn't have a tag. It doesn't have any babies with it. And she goes, do you think it's it? I said, I don't know. I can't prove that this is it because I think she lost it outside. But I think it was just divine. So the store manager was like, heard my story and he goes, just take it. Just take it. Take it back to her. And so we went back home and we set it all up for her. We're like, look what we found. We found the mommy tiger. Yeah. So it was, I'm like, I know it's kind of boring, but it's like, is that a divine, like we were so excited, those little things in life,
Well, I wouldn't go so far as to call it a miracle, but I do think it might be maybe divine, maybe God's providence. It probably was hers. Maybe it fell like on the floor and they picked it up.
Yeah. And
put it
because
back.
why would it have no tag?
And no babies. Yeah.
I mean, it had to
So
be the
funny.
mama tiger. So it was just so funny, but they
Yeah.
gave it to me.
How it ended up there. That is
Yeah.
so funny.
Yeah. We got it.
Yeah.
So,
All right. So you spent a whole month in France and you went
yes,
to, yes.
everywhere.
And were you glad? So then you came back to Texas and then went to
And then drove.
Nebraska? Oh, how long a drive is that?
It's it's about 12 hours for two adults who are
Okay. And
trying
do
to
you
get
go
back.
it without stopping? Do you just go
Yeah.
quick
Yeah,
turns?
like we don't stop. We didn't stop for meals or
Like
anything.
spending the night or anything. Yeah.
We have done that. We've stopped in
Mhm.
Oklahoma at our friends halfway. But this time we were just
Then
like,
it takes 2 days.
yeah,
Yeah. Because I have 4 days off and I was thinking of driving down to Kentucky. It's like because you lose an hour going down. So it's a
okay,
good 8.5 hours, which is
doable.
doable. But I get done like at 5 on a Friday night. So I thought I'd go about 3 or 4 hours that
Oh,
night, stay
that sounds good.
somewhere,
Yeah,
and then get there before noon on Saturday and then just leave late Monday and then be
yeah,
back to work on Tuesday or Wednesday, something like that. It's short, but flying, you spend just as much time trapped in airports and with the
exactly.
weather in the
And then what if your
summertime
flight gets
and
canceled
maintenance.
or delayed
And in
or
Lexington, I have yet, Mark says he's had it. I've yet to get out on time into
mm,
Lexington, out of
mm,
Lexington. I've either had it canceled, completely canceled, delay, rerouted to another. One time I got rerouted all the way to Charlotte, and then back to Kentucky, Louisville, and then back home 3 days later. So I'm
oh
just like,
no,
I'm driving, just gonna drive.
yeah,
I listen to, audiobooks. I listen to music. I'll
podcast,
go by myself. It's kind of trap time. I'll think about my book that
yeah,
I'm working on.
yeah,
So, I'll use the time just to kind of de-stress. I don't mind it.
yeah. That's
So,
I don't either. I don't mind. I mean, I've been listening to I re-listened to our podcast um,
okay.
just to be able to get your instruction, because
Mhm.
I kind of like,
Oh, for the
okay,
books. Yeah.
right, to write a book, to write the book, and so I wanted to hear the instructions, so that was good, and I liked it. I was
Yeah.
like, this is really, I really enjoy. I've been telling people when I hand them my card, if you want a podcast that's just fun and just
Mhm.
talking and just like, just telling stories and just talking and, kind of not that serious, this is your podcast.
Mhm.
Because,
I feel yes, yes.
because
And
I'm not going to try to change anybody's mind about anything. I'm not going to try to, do any type of, lesson or anything. It's like, here you go. This is what we're doing and this works for us. And here, this is what we are. So,
well, and it's so funny because where I work with, well, in my department, I'm the manager and I work with all the women in my department are my age, and
yeah.
so we're all sort of the same. But, I used to be in shoes and shoes, the shoe department's right across from my department. So I walk over, I call them the boys of shoes because they're all in their early 20s. And I call them, hey, boys, it's probably, it, I don't know, but I feel kind of like their mama, big sis aunt,
Yeah.
favorite aunt. And there's two of them. And one, he's from a Mexican family. He's just a good-looking kid. He's trying to get his degree.
Yeah.
He's very American. I think he was born here, but he's definitely from an immigrant family. And he's just really sort of fun and his name's John, but it's John. I can't say his real name and I'm not going to because I feel like that's insulting to even attempt. I'm so bad with the pronunciation, but he's like super open. And we were talking about he loves music and he went to the Michael Jackson movie. And then we've
Oh,
been watching, he loves the music and he doesn't know a lot about Michael Jackson. So I said, watch the documentary and then we'll talk. And the other guy is a white, um, long time, probably 8th generation American,
yeah.
Midwestern. He's 20 something, the most liberal person I've ever met. He's very of his age,
Right. Right.
that white liberal male.
Right.
And the two of them will just get into it because while John is, I think most 20s are liberal. I think that's part of being in your 20s.
Yeah.
I feel like that's, most of them are. It's part of sort of trying to be open and all of that. And to hear the two yammering about stuff is super enlightening on me, because these are two guys, same age,
Yeah.
who are arguing over like the 250. There's John, the immigrant, big, long Mexican family, and they're native Mexicans. So there's like, Native American in him. Like he's
Uh-huh.
not, like you could
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
the really dark skin, dark hair. And then there's Patrick, and he's wearing the American, John's wearing the American flag. And then there's Patrick, who refuses to wear anything that with the stars and stripes, won't wear the American flag. I hate America. And, and I said to him, let me tell you something. So I used to teach American government.
Yeah.
And while I respect your opinion, the fact that you are allowed to hate the flag, hate America, and to say that out loud in this public place.
Yes, without being killed.
You are not arrested or beheaded or fired.
Right.
I said, is why you should respect this country.
Right.
I said, the fact that I used to tell my students all the time, the fact that you can burn the flag is the reason that you don't.
Right.
Because you should show the respect. And I said, it's freedom for the thought we love, not freedom for the thought we hate. He could not wrap his brain around that concept.
Because he's just on a bandwagon. I mean, do you even remember at 20, like giving two hoots about politics?
No. But we didn't have, here's the thing.
We didn't have cell phones. We didn't know everything.
We didn't have social media.
Right.
And what's happening is, and I said this 10 years ago when Twitter was starting to get really big, and they started with the whole canceling people, social media. There was really, when social media stopped being a safe place to give your opinion.
Right, right.
What I said is that what happens is people like him, we'll call him P. People like P, he is on social media with only people that agree with him. Anyone that disagrees with him, he unfriends or he blocks. So he only is in this insulated bubble where everyone agrees with him. The world agrees with him in his small little insulated world.
Right, in his world,
so he assumes the world agrees with him. And then he only, watches if he gets the news, it's from Twitter. And again,
or the comedians, the evening comedians. That's what they
TikTok. Yeah, or TikTok, which is 2 minutes of only people he agrees with. Anyone that comes even, like Bill Maher, who I feel like is very liberal, but is also very much, if we're going to win again, we need to be thinking about this and that, and we need to, like challenges. And P will he will unfriend that, and he'll unfollow and block. And so that's what's happening to the younger people. We didn't care, partly because, we were just, I knew who to vote for. I looked up
you know where I got my politics from? Alex Keaton, like on Family Ties. I just knew that him and his parents,
because the two of them battled each other, right?
Yeah,
parents and then him. So you knew from Family Ties, you got both sides. Both sides. And Walter Cronkite, I grew up watching him as the newscaster, and it was very much report the news. There was no opinion, there was no inflection. There was no picking and choosing the stories. It was, this is what's happening. This is, you decide how you feel. So I think that's just why this podcast, we're like, we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there.
No, because I'm probably not going to change anybody's mind anyway. Mm-hmm. Just like if I change my mind, I change my mind because of things I've investigated, or not just because somebody says something.
Or it's personal. It happened personally to a friend.
Happened to me personally. And maybe I'll change my mind about some things, or maybe I'll, but it's like, I'm not going to, for sure, social media. I'm just on Facebook right now to sell all my stuff, which is another whole tangent that we can do on Facebook Marketplace. I'm like, people are coming to my home. I don't know who these people are. But they came in, got all my stuff. I'm like, okay, it's so bizarre. It's like this huge open garage sale but it's your whole house and it's your whole, like, it's just crazy. So somebody's coming tonight to get my little breakfast nook, and that's going to be gone. But luckily the two big items upstairs that were sold by are bought by friends. So I know those people. But yeah, with moving, I said the thing that I have with moving, so I have lists and lists and lists and lists and lists upon lists of things to do. Like, I put on my list to make a list so that I could take something off.
That's what that is so funny. I need to make a list, and then I can. No, that's like when I was on that board of directors. That everything, we had way too many committees and way too many decision by committee, and so I was chairman of the committee on committees.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I literally am like, I just put on my list to make a list. Like, and I did it. I made mom's list. I made my list, and I got to check those off my list. So I'm like making lists.
Oh, nothing's more satisfying than crossing something off a list. That is, to me,
it's
gorgeous.
It's the best. Yesterday, I went to my mom's and I got all of her bills automated.
Oh.
So I had a whole list because she was still writing checks.
Mark's mother, he's writing the checks for her, and I'm like, what is
a little bit? She forgot to mail one, and then the Discover bill didn't get mailed. It was just so. I said everything. So everything is automated. She doesn't have to write any more bills except for her tithe check to church, but otherwise everything's automated. So I'm like, okay, got that. But it was like, check that. It just felt so good to get that all checked off. But so that's it's been a roller coaster of, I've had, like, we just finished getting everything sold and everything out of the apartment in Austin. And then our plan was, to load the pickup up and come up here. And then on the airplane, the 10-hour flight from Amsterdam to Austin, we make this decision. So then I'm like, okay, well, now we have to get a storage unit because we're not going to schlep everything up to Nebraska and then schlep everything back down. We're going to stay there. So now we have a storage unit. We move it.
Oh, we've done that.
We left the truck there because we're like, why would we bring the truck up?
Right.
So we left the truck there. So it's nice because the girls are using the truck to move, but it's been like, so you can imagine.
So is this a final decision? Because as our listeners and viewers have been running with you, walking this journey with you.
All my friends, everybody. It's like, we're leaving, we're staying, we're leaving, we're staying. My mother, we're leaving, we're staying. I feel like this is right for now. And I feel good because we're not buying anything in Austin.
True. And then you can just take the money from the sale and invest it so it can grow while
use that to just wherever we want to be. I mean, we may be in Paris for 3 months at some point if we have another grandchild. And so, we might be there for 3 months. So who knows what's going to happen. So for right now, for this next school year or whatever, we're selling this house, and I just got the hiccups. And so we're going. So, but that's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
well, and we're a year behind because we're going to be, the goal is for me, September 2027. No.
Oh, 27.
September 2027. So we are a year because we're almost September 26 now.
Right. So we'll be 63. So you only need to be 64. You can be 64.
Well, because I'm going to do, no. I'm going to do Cobra for a year.
Okay. For just a little bit. Okay.
Just for, and maybe not even a year. It's just, I cannot do another year and 2 years in this job. I can't do it.
It's going to kill you.
I can't do it. It will kill me. And it'll probably ruin my marriage because I just am so tired and cranky
Yeah.
that on my days off, and I don't like who I'm becoming because I have to give so much energy and sweetness and personality. And I work for a company where the customer is always right, and if the customer is wrong, refer back to the first rule, which is the customer is always right. So I'm swallowing and just getting
Oh,
pounded. People are just, they take advantage.
yeah.
And I
Yeah.
said, I would like to not even do a full year, but I can do another year,
Okay.
knowing, but I can't do another two. And
Yeah.
so if we get me, and I think you can do Cobra for 18 months.
Okay.
So technically, March would be the earliest that I could
Nice.
quit and then pay the Cobra for 18 months. But it won't be that. It'll be get something full time down there because
Oh,
I
okay.
don't want to
Okay.
retire until I'm 67 and a half. Because when you go 60 or 66 and a half and you retire, and when I say retire, start taking Social
You're right,
Security,
right, right.
at that point, you can then still work full time
Yeah.
and not be docked. But if I do it now and because I can start now, then I'm limited to how many hours I can
Yeah.
work. And I don't want that either.
Yeah. And that's
So that's our plan.
Jerry's 66 and a half. So,
So he can now do Social Security or whatever.
well, yeah, he can, and he can work full time
Right.
if
And
he
work full
wants to.
time.
So he's looking, I mean, who knows what's going to happen in Austin. He is going to work for the school again. We're just thinking what's that's going to look like. So, but I'm going to
Well, and I
be
don't, yeah, you're going to be doing all the moving and
moving. I'm
what
going
are
to
you
be
going to
doing
be
all
doing?
that writing.
Writing.
I'm this book. So I don't know if we want to,
Okay.
we're 36
This
minutes
is,
in.
all right. This is a segue. So let's
Okay.
just do this. Let me ask you this, and then we'll go another 8 minutes, 9 minutes. So have you been writing while you were gone?
Yes. So
Good.
every time in Corsica, I would be on a hike. I just kind of stayed back, and
Hmm.
Jerry and Riley would be ahead of me, and I just kind of stayed back, and I would just be thinking
Percolating.
about my two girls, these twins. They're twins now. These two girls. So I have changed this. The whole story has developed because when I did the prologue, and you said the prologue, was from the mom's voice, like you liked the mom's voice, you liked the different. I really liked that story.
Okay.
The story of them going and get so
The children of a missionary,
the children of missionary. So one is taken, one gets kidnapped by the tribe, one gets away. The dad, they leave. The mom die. I mean, like I've got it all. Like the mom is going to die of dengue fever
Okay.
because the dad would not let the tribe doctors help her.
Okay.
The tribe doctors were trying to help her, and I mean, just this whole like yeah. So I don't know if you want me to send you like a page or two to see what
Sure.
I've got.
Go ahead.
But
Okay. I love that direction. I mean, I think here's the thing. The hardest part about a book is, and I say this to a lot of people, and is that when you're brainstorming, when you're writing this book, I have a friend who she spends way too much plotting and brainstorming. And I finally say, Winnie, you need to commit to the story. So
yeah,
just write it and stay with that story, because what happens is it gets harder and harder and harder as you continue writing. And it feels like, oh, wouldn't that be easier if I change this up or change that up?
right,
And so what happens is you never commit to the story. So my first suggestion would be, and you're still in the early phase. You can
yeah,
do this for 6 months if you want,
yeah,
but at some point, and the new idea is always going to be more exciting than the
right,
one you're working on,
right,
because the new idea is young and fresh and it's the shiny new object.
right,
It's the
yeah,
squirrel, the new squirrel that the dog sees and goes after that squirrel instead of the one that's up the tree and he can't get it.
uh-huh,
So kind of once you are done chasing the shiny objects and you don't know how long this is going to go, you still got that premise. So I would say, like you did last time, you wrote that prologue and we discovered through my input and you thinking about it now, oh, well, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. This
Right.
is now
Right.
a different story. So
Yes.
maybe go with that for a while and see how that plays out. So yes, I
Yeah.
would say
The other
stay a
stories
little bit.
started to get a little um, convoluted, too complex to be even remotely real. Like I know it doesn't have to be real. I mean, it's fiction. I get it, but you have to have some believability
So
of
I
the
don't know if yes, you don't want to be
right. I
too plot
mean,
heavy, right? You don't want to be too plot heavy. And
yeah,
what I always tell people about, well, when I'm developing my books, they
yeah,
ask, how do you figure out the plot? How do you know what it's going to be? And I say, I don't write the plot. I don't think about the plot. I build the characters,
yeah,
and the plot comes out of the character. Characters are what you want complicated.
yeah.
You
And
want them
that's what I've been
complicated.
doing. Yeah,
You want them complicated. You want the plot pretty simple. Two twins, one gets kidnapped, two twins, a set of twins, one gets kidnapped, one doesn't. What do those lives look like 30, 40, 50 years later?
right.
A missionary father, very legalistic, it sounds like, because he's down there teaching that old white evangelical
Yeah,
legalistic
yeah,
Christianity.
right.
The mom that has come so obediently
Yes,
because that is what the pastor's wife does versus the woman who is there because she's convicted, but then she doesn't ever get to live her conviction out. Now you've got, see, we're all talking about the characters. That
hmm,
story now, the one that's kidnapped by the tribe versus the one that's not, their life trajectory is so different. So instead of trying to plot when they find each other again and all of that, just
yeah,
kind of go with what happens, tell those two stories, and you can still have that prologue from the mom's voice, but then, and don't try too hard to make it mysterious or all of that,
right.
because
Because at
just the
one point I
fact,
was like, do I want to try to make it that the one because the one that comes back has severe mental illness more than the one that was taken. And
mhm,
she thinks that really she was the one that was left
right.
there.
Well, yes, the guilt
The
and
guilt, she
yes,
thinks that she was the one and the other one got away. And she was like, why do they keep saying that it was her when it was really
that
me?
was lucky, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the
So
one, so then in that woman's mind, I always say every character, they're the hero in their own story.
yes,
So you have to think of it that way as well. So you've got this character who did all the right things and nobody, and was supposedly stayed with the father and had to deal with him, and wasn't that its own captivity, versus this other sister who gets to go to the with the tribe and is raised
no, as
maybe
a wife.
in a
She
more,
has two
as a
children.
wife,
Yeah,
as a wife, but perhaps in a more loving, different. So they're
yeah.
both in captivity, but everyone only sees the one
Mhm.
versus the other. And the one that wasn't, she was in her own captivity with the father and the religion that he,
Right.
raised her in. So now you've got both of them have experienced incredible trauma, lost their mother at a young age.
Yes.
So now you've got a really good, complicated story. What happens going forward, whether they, this other guy, the dad comes back, whatever, any of that happens, you've already got a richness here because you have two women who think that they were captives.
Right.
And neither one agrees with the other. The other one thinks, well, you at least had family and support. And, whether you were taken away, did she fall in love with the man that married her, or was that even an option? You don't know. You get to go through all of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is she
Yeah.
ripped away when they rescue her? Does she now
Right.
feel
Like, does she feel like, my two children know
like
nothing
that
else?
happened a lot during in the Old West days when women were they were
Taken.
integrated into the Native Americans and they
Yes.
were given that family and then were ripped back into society, but they loved being within that Native American
Right.
world,
Right.
but they were ripped out of that. So, you've got that's rich. That's a lot of richness to
Good.
it.
Good. It was a
Yeah.
lot of, like I said, while I was hiking, while I was on the plane, like my phone notes, it's just like I have them all. So I haven't even put it into the book yet or into my computer yet, but I just wrote,
I met a guy who wrote his entire book on a phone.
Yeah.
So it is with through
And
the notes.
I write from their voices, and I don't know if that's going to be, but I write, like, I'll say Claire, and then I'll write her, from her own voice, and then father, and then I'll sprinkle in mother, kind of from the grave. How mother,
or even what the mother's life was,
before,
after
whatever.
the
Yeah.
father, being married with the father. So you've got a lot of richness there.
I want
So
there to be a positive. I don't want it to be all white evangelicals are terrible. Like, I don't want that to be the end thing. So I want to see a change. I want to see in the end, I want to see a family come together and help their mentally ill daughter, both mentally ill daughters, but see how they, I want it to.
Well, and here's a thought. And again, your book, your decision. What if at some point in the tribe, when the other daughter is there, a true Christian missionary comes in and teaches them the love of Christ and the love of a loving God. And she understands, kind of like that holy envy, understands Christianity way better and understands her God way better than the father, the mother, the sister, and feels as though, that sort of.
See, I was kind of thinking of it being
a missionary.
Like a young missionary comes in. I kind of had this thought. A young missionary comes in, younger, older than them, but a little bit younger, has that rest with them, and then becomes her husband and the father to those children fully. I don't know. So,
but see, that could be your way of even, and that could be sort of your way of, instead of saying all evangelical white missionaries are evil, it's also maybe shining a light on the heart of the missionary, and that the true heart isn't going down and making converts, it's going down and revealing God's love. Which is different.
Right. And he happens to find her, and he's like, you were the missing one. And
I wasn't expecting.
I
mean, so that could be a beautiful story.
Yes.
And then she comes back as the wife of a missionary and realizes the biggest mission field is her own family.
Yes. Because Nancy's gone.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've been studying. Oh yes. I've been researching dengue fever and the first signs of it and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm like, okay. And like, how fast you die and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So,
So it sounds like you're on the right track. So I just say, go for it. Send me what you want, or just keep writing, because ultimately,
every day.
And remember what I said, we can fix the writing. So get the story down first, get that, was it Anne Lamott, get that shitty first draft written.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, but it sounds like you are, like, you think, this is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I mean, you don't want to do like, okay, that's as boring as can be. I want it to be interesting. And so, okay.
Here's the thing. A premise is not a book. It's execution.
Right.
I always say that. I have a friend, she just wrote a book. It was supposed to be this huge sort of opus for her. And it was shedding light on a specific sort of, I'll just say illness.
Okay.
And it is so boring, but the premise has such promise. And I feel as though, again, it's execution, but that's something we can fix.
That we're going to do on this. That's what we're going to do.
Fix this on this. Okay. Yes, we can fix this. And that's a different kind of writing advice than what we're doing right now. Right now we're plotting, we're talking story.
And
then there's the writing of a book. So right now we're just talking story.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds
okay. Good. All right. So we will see everyone next week at 9 a.m.
Tuesday. Are
you available? Check.
I gotta look. I better look before we
calendar
before we say it. Yes, I have some doctor's appointments, but.
Well, when are they? In the afternoon, morning?
10:00 a.m. So we could do like 8 o'clock.
So I have one. Because I have one at 11. So why don't we just do it at 8 instead of 9?
We'll do it 8.
Okay.
We'll do podcast. Yeah.
All right. So
And
we'll be live at
podcast number 20.
Yay.
It'll be podcast number 20. So, okay.
All right.
We will see you next Tuesday.
I love it. Thanks for listening.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.